Okay, I'm at 2821 Astoria Avenue. I accidentally, the recording stopped somehow when I was locating, so this is going to be in, I'll just remake the video here, but it's, we're looking for any structural issues. The house is being purchased and, or at least transferred, and there were some holding tanks and stuff under the house, and there's not a whole lot of explanation. So I was able to get a map, and there is a main that runs directly underneath this house. I'm out 11 feet, and so what I'll do is I'll pull back, I'll show my surroundings, and then what we'll do is we'll go basically, this is the clean out, so I will show around so we know where we are. I'm going to turn off the locator so it doesn't interfere. And what we're here to do is look for any structural issues or any problem with it. But what we have here is, as we go into this clean out right next to the washer, you'll be able to tell immediately that as I go, I'm going vertical, and you can see in the bottom left hand corner that's an angle indicator on how the camera is sitting. And so it kind of zigzags through a few things, and then it drops directly into a sewer main. As I get closer, you'll see it running past. And so in the past, this apparently has had backups into the basement. They said that their system is working very, very well, but they come out every 6 months to check this, and it does make sense. I was able to obtain a map, and there's a main that runs directly underneath this house. So I'm going to try to go through a few other areas on the property here and take a look. This isn't, I mean, it's not normal, but it does happen quite a few places in the city. I'm not really sure if they built the house. I'm sure they built the house on top of it, but why they would build it directly on top of the main like this is a little odd. But I have seen, manholes in basements before. In this case, they have a retention system and a pump system that I believe it just carries storm water from around the house and discharges it into these pump tanks that can hopefully hold the excess water for a decent amount of time and prevent backflow into the floor drains and stuff to where it comes up. So in this situation, I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to make a move and take the equipment out. There's some exterior MSD cleanouts for some of the storm, and we are going to take a look at that. There is a vent, like a loop vent on the back half. I'm going to maybe open that up and we'll take a look in that line too, but I'm going to pause the video while I do that. Okay, now we're going to go in through the other clean out, the other stack. It's just, like I said, it just kind of looks like a loop vent for the pump system, but we still want to take a look at this and see how this is set up. This should kind of go right over, go into the tank, but it may not. This looks like this may be tied into some of the surface stuff then. There's a YN. I'm going to check this real quick and flush this toilet. See if that's where we are or if this goes out the other direction. So I believe this is going out to possibly the rear, or it's dumping into the tap on its own. It is also dumping into the main right here. So both of these taps go separately into the sewer main. And so both of these lines look good. And they're all PVC, and it looks like this was all installed by the Metropolitan Sewer District. provide the drawing that shows how the sewer main runs directly underneath the house. But I'm going to close this line. I mean, everything looks like it's in good shape, but I'm going to close this line and I'm going to move over and access. There's a couple exterior MSD cleanouts. And so I'm going to access those to see if they are like exterior storm lines that tie into this, or if they are, you know, possibly other addresses that are tapped in the main. And you know, when they did all this, they wanted to give access. But at any rate, I'm going to pause the video, and I'm going to pause the video. We're going to go outside and open up those cleanouts and inspect those lines. Okay, so last spot here is we are going to try to go through the downspout and just check this line and see how it runs over into the sanitary main. This is all a combined system, so but this is trapped, which I kind of expected it to be. But we'll see if we can get through it. So this is trapped so that, yeah, we have two turns right on top of each other, so. Yeah. So this is trapped, but you can see the cutout where it drops back and then goes into the other one and goes into that drain. So I will provide, everything looks brand new. According to them, it was done maybe 2022 when all this was installed. Obviously the main is a lot older than that. It's probably 100 years old or more. But there are, which since I'm here with the camera, we'll try to put that on the end of it just for explanation there. But there are some cleanouts, and so I wanted to make sure that these are also shown. They will be shown with a line on the drawing.
That's nice heater. Don't worry about that. Yeah.
See. And so we had this other line, and you can see the cutout where that's where this runs down. It is trapped, and then it runs down, drops in. And this similar, but if you look at these are actually accesses for other people's sewer laterals that come out of their house. So you have one from here, and this is where this house is coming in, probably one of these, and then there's also one that's either coming from one of these two buildings back here. And these are just accesses for MSD owns within so many feet of the sewer main, and so these are connections from other places. These have nothing to do with the house that they're a foot away from. So it pretty much explains everything. Everything looks great. It's fully functional. The only thing you would have to worry about there is the surcharging, that they're trying to remedy with that with those holding tanks underneath. And I believe that is for the main. That's not for the individual lateral for the house. That is actually to help with surcharging coming directly out of the sewer main that is under the house. So if the storm level backs up too much, it's supposed to back up into those tanks and have backflow prevention on it to keep it from coming up in the floor drain in the house. So the only other spot of access that may be possible is the line coming out of this. There's a area drain here at the base of the garage. And so I'm going to pause the video for a minute, and I'm going to try to pop this off and see if we can see how this runs over. Okay, one final little inspection here. And I'm going to check this right here next to the garage door. And I'm going to go upstream to make sure that see if this other line comes in. You have a little bit of blockage there, not much. It should flush out under use. We'll see where we're going. It does look like this could use to be flushed out. It does have some. There's the line. I'd say this is where the line probably comes out to the floor drain here. We're going to check that. So we're going to locate exactly where the camera is, just to verify that it is this other area drain. And it is. So there's a little bit of debris in this. It wouldn't hurt to try to clear this out every now and again. But the original floor drain next to the man door or person door on the back half, that comes over and dumps into this. Could also be, if there were any surface water issues, you could increase the size of this box to be able to hold a little more water and slow it down, to kind of, to be able to hold it. And then this is the outfall, which is a very large pipe, so you should be able to hold a lot of water. Looks like this is going in and turning. It's holding a little bit of water here. I think this is, we have some build up here. We're going to look and see where this is real quick, because I think this is a backflow preventer. That's where that stuff is up against it. It's just some dirt and stuff catching on a backflow preventer that won't allow it to surcharge back up through this. But it may be something that you might want to take a look at, because the water will flow this way. It'll push that gate back closed if there's any back pressure coming from the main. And I believe that that's exactly where we are, is where this part dumps into the main. It should be a pretty quick, such a short area, it should get rid of a lot of storm. That's exactly what it is here. Looks like possibly the clean out that is here before it dumps into the, so this one MSD clean out looks like that may be, it's kind of hard to verify based off the placement, but I think that may be what it is. There are taps underneath it, but I think what these are now, this is the storm tap. So I was wrong. This clean out here off the back corner, this looks like this is from the storm in this grate, and there's a backflow preventer probably in that, in there, and that's why they put it there. And then this one is probably another backflow preventer that comes from all the downspouts. The downspouts would come through, go to that backflow preventer, and then it would dump into the main, and that prevents it from backing out of the downspouts and or this area drain here. So I think we've got this thing mapped out now. So I was wrong about those being individual taps. There are taps shown there, but the way it's looking, they're confusing some of the house taps with these storm taps that were recently installed, just like the one that they have marked, they have highlighted as the sanitary tap for this house, is not. I believe it's either the house next door or it is it's showing the tap for one of these storm taps that they put in for this house. So again, I was wrong. These MSD cleanouts here that are actually for the storm on this house, and that's the cutout around them. So they're backflow preventers and cleanouts for the storm system that is here. So all in all, the line, everything looks good. It looks like it's in good shape. And it's designed pretty well to get rid of the storm, but surface water can still be an issue, and if that ever happens, you could make a larger drain, box drain or something back here that would hold a little more water temporarily to slow it down and prevent it from coming into the garage. But that would depend on if or when there's any other surface water situations. But other than that, the line looked great. It's very, very short. The biggest concern is having a sewer main under your house, but if anything ever happens, they're fully and wholly responsible. So that'll end the inspection at 2821 Astoria Avenue in Hyde Park, Cincinnati, Ohio.